Welcome to the Chic Show. My name is Marla and I share DIYs, thrift flips, and home decor that are cheap and chic. If you see anything you like today, I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can also find me over on Instagram at the Chic Show DIY. All of today's projects are for Valentine's Day, and the first one is using this garden book I found at a local thrift store. Garden books have beautiful sketches in them, and I've chosen this one for this project. I'm also using this rub-on transfer from Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting out the French words for I love you. I'm just trying to decide exactly where I want to place it, but ultimately I choose right there in the center, and it turns out lovely. Once I have my placement, I remove the backing and place the word over the image and then transfer it just using my scissors. I slowly move the transfer paper away to be sure that all of it is transferred, and just go ahead and scrape it a little more if I see anything that has stuck to the transfer paper. I think this transfer looks like it has always been there, which is exactly what I was going for. I'm using this thrifted vintage frame and 2 pieces of glass, and I'm going to use a glue stick to adhere the image between the 2 pieces of glass. I think this is a really nice neutral decor piece for Valentine's Day, and you could actually leave this up year-round. I also wanted to mention that today's video is part of a playlist for Third Thursday Thrift Flips, hosted by Tammy at the Rusted Willow, Elizabeth at Rustic Chicks, and Cheryl at Farmhouse Frugally. Project number 2 is using this thrifted wood piece. It looks like it was handmade, probably from a wood box. So I'm going to be using it and some buttons that I had on hand. I did go ahead first and remove the hinges, and then I gave it a light sanding in some of the rough spots. Using Waverly Ink chalk paint, I'm going to coat the wood piece on the front and the sides. At first, I didn't think that crack in the bottom of the heart was going to bother me, but once I got it painted, it did show, so I do go back and fill that in with some wood filler. Once the paint had dried, I took it outside and gave it a coat of acrylic sealer. Now I'm using the candle wax method to distress the piece, so I'm going to rub that on all the corners and edges and also around the heart. By sealing that black paint, the black paint will show through instead of the wood once I go to sand it off. Now I'm going to cover the black paint and the wax with Waverly white chalk paint, front and back. Once the paint has had a chance to dry, I'm going to go back with my sander and just sand those edges where I put that wax, and the black paint shines through and gives it more of a definition and a rustic look. I'm also using 2 of these thin Dollar Tree dominoes, and I'm going to give one side of it a coat of this hot pink paint so that it'll match the buttons, and then the back side I'm going to paint white to match the back side of the wood piece. Once the dominoes have had a chance to dry, I'm going to attach them to the back part of the heart with the pink side showing through the front. So I'm just doing that with wood glue. Now I'm going to be filling in the heart with the pink buttons. The first layer I'm doing deliberately so that I can get most of that wood covered in buttons. Now that I have that first layer of buttons down, I'm just going to randomly add hot glue and buttons to kind of give it more of a natural look, or I guess more of a random pattern. Now I'm using this love sticker from my scrapbooking days, and I'm just going to put that down at the bottom corner. I think this is also a great generic neutral piece for Valentine's Day with just a tiny bit of color. Project number 3 are Valentine blocks. One thing I always look for at thrift stores are kids' wood blocks. It's an inexpensive way to get good quality wood pieces. I took these outside and gave them a coat of white spray paint, and then I came back inside, added a wood heart to one of them, and the other ones I'm going to use a black paint pen to color the letters. For the numbers, I just used these black stickers from Dollar Tree. The only thing I might do different is around the letters, do that edge part black as well. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, just as a reminder, you can also find me on Instagram, and if you have subscribed, thank you very much, and if you have clicked that little notification bell after you watch a couple of videos, it will help YouTube notify you more accurately when I upload a new video. Project number 4 is a wood ornament, Key to My Heart. I thrifted this little hand-cut wood heart. It did have a hole at the top and the bottom, so I did fill in the one on the bottom. Once I have sanded down that wood filler, I am going to give it a couple of coats of DIY paint. Now I have one of these little wood keys from Dollar Tree, and I'm also going to give it a coat of DIY paint. I did take the heart outside and spray painted it with an acrylic sealer so that I can distress it later. Now I'm using candle wax to go around all around the edges and over the top so that I can give it a good distressed look. After giving it a coat of Ballet Slipper by Waverly, we'll go back and distress it. Now I'm going to use my heat gun to not only speed up the drying process of the paint, but also to melt to that wax so that we can use this scraper and go back and scrape it off for that distressed look. Now I'm using these 6 wood beads, and I'm using Waverly Mineral and a fan brush just to go back and add a little mineral paint to the beads and the heart. Now I'm going to tie on the key with this really thin twine. Once the key is secure, I'm going to add the beads. I did leave a nice loop at the top so that this could be hung from a hook or on a wreath. I think this has a really primitive look to it, and I really like it. I hope you do too. Here's a look back at everything that I flipped today, and I hope that you'll check out the playlist in the description box, as well as our host channels. I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, as a reminder, you can check me out on Instagram as well. Thanks so much for watching, and check out these next videos that you might like as well.